The other day, I was talking to somebody who believed that he had to work extra hard and be number one in everything that he did. That was the mindset. This got me thinking because this was my mindset as well years ago. And what it did was it led me down a very vicious path, and a path where I wish I had not gone, but I also wish that you do not go. So today we're going to be talking about this toxic hustle culture. So let's first understand where it started from and why we should be doing it or should not be doing it depending on where you are in your life. So, this whole thing about go hard, go home, hustle, work harder than everybody else, all of that makes a lot of sense. Especially if you understand it from a point of view of many people are not working hard at all. They're just wasting their life, they're doing nothing with their time. And for them, yes, this is that kickstart that is needed. But if you're already working and if you're doing a good job and you're seeing progress, what this hustle culture does basically is that it pushes you beyond your breaking point. And I love the concept of the hustle culture. Okay, so truth be told, I have done this for years. I've always figured out about how to optimize every aspect of my life and how to push harder, work harder than anybody else. And I still do that. But the point is that now through experience, I've realized that when is too much of hustle bad for me. So over the past 2 years, my work has exploded. The Awesome 180 channel, the habit coaching business, the habit coach podcast, all of that has been growing. Plus I'm taking over our family's NGO called Light of Life Trust. I'm doing our family business, Ormax Consultants, and all of these things are happening at the same time. And there's one part of me that says, yeah, bring it on. I can take on the world, because that's my typical nature. That's the way that I have trained myself over the past. But I've also realized that if I need to consistently do this for years and years and years and years on end for the rest of my life, I cannot be pushing this hard because it is toxic. It is like taking a slow poison that's eventually going to kill me. And that's what it did to me 7 years ago. I was working so hard. I used to sleep 4 hours a night till at one point of time I collapsed on the floor. Sitting on that floor in a puddle of sweat, feeling my heartbeat almost pumping out of my chest, I was wondering, what was I doing all this for? Was it worth it? And the strange thing was, there was one side of me that was scared with what was going on, and there was another side of me that was completely like, yeah, then go for it, good job, you're actually pushing harder than anybody else, fantastic. Now can you imagine these two sides to it? I realized at that point of time that I need to learn how to slow down. And then I learned this trick. I learned this trick by looking at the way we drive our cars. You see, we put cars in gears, right? When we are starting, we have to put it in first because that is when we need the most amount of power to go past that initial inertia. That means the force that's holding you back from starting. At that point in time, we need the most amount of push. But once that starts and once the ball gets rolling, you can't keep driving in first gear. What happens if you drive in first gear? Your engine explodes. You have to then take it to the second gear to pick up speed. But at the same time, when you pick up speed, you're slowing down the power output of your engine. Then you go to third gear, and third gear is even more easy to drive. Fourth gear, fifth gear. What's happening? The engine load is reducing because now you're relying on momentum. So when you think about hustle culture, we only think about push hard. That means engine and accelerator has to be all the way down. But I'm here to tell you that when we think about actually making progress in life, we have to look at the distance that we are going, how far we have to go, and not just think about how much you're pushing that accelerator pedal, but to see at what stage of this progress we are. Sometimes we have to go up a hill, and hence we have to go from fourth gear down to third, down to second again. Because we need that power to go up a hill. We're on an uphill climb. But then when we're going downhill, when everything is perfect and smooth, at that point of time, you don't need that power. So learning how to regulate this is very important. What we don't realize from the toxic hustle culture is this regulation, the way in which the gears move and the way that we should be moving the gears along with it. So the point of this video is for you to understand or take stock of your life. Where are you right now in the scheme of things? Are you in first gear, second, or third? Are you just starting off your progress? Are you just starting off your process of growth, of a particular venture, of your first job, of studying? If you are, then yes, you need that hustle culture. You need to be pushing your entire engine forward, accelerator down, pushing forward. But now if you realize that you're maintaining and you're growing well, there is success coming, there is progress coming, you need to realize that you need to relax a little bit. Learn to let go and allow the momentum to carry you. Because when that takes place, what happens is now you're looking long distance. The success becomes more and more apparent because now you're thinking for the future, 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, 7 years down the line. If you start noticing that you're slowing down your progress, maybe you need to give a little bit more accelerator. But the point is that you have to maintain this balance. If you don't maintain this balance, just like the engine that's going to explode, so are you. And that's what we call a burnout. We don't want to get to a stage of a burnout. So instead of that, let's start by learning how we can regulate the amount of effort we put into things. So a simple habit is to find out and make a list of all the big goals that you have in life and put next to it the effort that you need to put inside. Ask yourself, introspect, how much time and effort do I need to be putting on these particular projects? If you realize that you need to be putting more time in, more effort in, then start doing that. Go listen to all the videos about hustle culture. Listen to all those videos and pump yourself up, because sometimes you're just sleeping and we need one whack on our face to wake up and do these things. And yes, do that. But then, if you realize that no, everything's going perfectly fine, my life is perfectly smooth, I am happy where I am, there's progress taking place, so you're not stagnating, but there's progress taking place. At that point of time, learn how to slow down. Fill your mind with creative ideas. Fill your mind with ideas of relaxation. Plan ways to relax. And you will see that your life becomes easier and smoother, but more importantly, your longevity in the pursuit that you have increases. This ultimately is a habit, because the amount of power we need, the amount we press the accelerator down, is also a habit. I know people who have the perfect life but are still hustling. And when I ask them why they're hustling, they don't have an answer. If you don't have an answer for why you're hustling, maybe it's now time to step back from the accelerator or try something new that requires your hustle. As always, remember that everything can either be a cure or a poison. Just like that hustle can also be a cure or a poison. And that's why toxic hustle culture is a poison. Don't make it a part of your culture to constantly hustle, hustle, hustle. Learn when to use it and when to step off it. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're part of this toxic culture, don't forget to hit the like button so you make a promise saying that from now onwards, I'm going to realize what I'm doing. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe and the little bell icon next to it so you know when future videos come out. I'm Ashton Doctor, your habit coach, and remember, awesome lives, they start with awesome habits.